Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Logo 3 Army podcast. Oh my goodness. There's just so much to talk about, and I honestly don't even know where to start. Today is Monday, September 30th. The Indiana Fever have been knocked out after the first round of playoffs. Yesterday was the first game for the semifinals, and the WNBA is the biggest dumpster fire reality television show gone wrong. Business that is still not a business. This activist league disaster that it's actually difficult to put words to what we have been witnessing over the past couple of weeks. So, obviously, if you watched the last two Indiana Fever games, in game one, Carrington intentionally, I watched the video countless times. Yes, it was intentional. She intentionally tried to poke Caitlin Clark's eye out, and Caitlin Clark had a terrible game consequently. After that happened, she may have had one of the worst games in terms of a box score that she had all season. She had a black eye in the post-game presser. There was no doubt that the poke to her eye was very significant and very painful. She definitely was writhing on the ground, and she definitely was not faking that. So that happened in game one. Obviously, everyone had something to say about it. Everyone had something to say about the fact that Caitlin Clark didn't have a good game for the first game of playoffs. Caitlin Clark, being Caitlin Clark, did not attribute her bad game to the injury to her eye, but I personally think that it most definitely had an effect on her game. The second game, Caitlin Clark had an incredible game, but the referees were absolutely horrendous. She got a flying elbow from Marina Maybury with no call. I forgot to mention that in game one, the referees were also playing for Connecticut. So both game one and game two, the refs were wearing orange. And it was very obvious to the viewer. It's actually incredible that no media sources are speaking about it. It's incredible that no articles have been written about the refereeing problem in the WNBA. And as a viewer, a fan, a casual, a new fan, whatever you want to call me, it is absolutely appalling. I myself played Division I athletics in college, and I also coached Division I athletics. I coached high school. I coached university level. I coached little kids. Never in the history of my sport experience as a player or a coach have I ever seen worse officiating in my life. So it is absolutely appalling and crazy. It's crazy that, one, this issue has not been remedied, and two, really no one is talking about it. But how can they talk about it when the rest of the drama that's happened? So if you weren't paying attention, Christine Brennan, a very liberal, lefty, feminist, pro-woman news sports writer, asked Dejanay Carrington about the eye gouge. If you know anything about narcissism or somebody who is narcissistic, there's this thing called Duper's Delight. I tweeted about it. Go follow me on Twitter at Logo3Army on Twitter or X. Anyway, Duper's Delight. It's when someone who's narcissistic, which is basically very similar to being a sociopath, really have no remorse, contrition, don't feel bad about doing things like poking someone in the eye. They will lie about what they have done, also called gaslighting. But the Duper's Delight is when they get excited inside about it. Like there's a little, ooh, I like that. And they can't hide it from their face. And that is exactly what Dejanay Carrington did in her interview when asked, hey, did you intentionally poke Caitlin Clark in the face? Because you know what? We all saw it from all different angles, and it's very abnormal to come down from blocking a pass with your nails pointing at someone's face. That's not a normal thing to do in basketball. And so we're just curious, Dejanay, did you do it on purpose? And what does Dejanay do? She grabs her beautiful silky blonde ponytail and turns her head to the side, and she smiles because she knows she did it on purpose. And of course she said she didn't do it on purpose, but it was a sight to behold. Most people are not very aware of these psychological body language things that occur, but it's a real thing. You can Google it, and I have no doubt that not only did Dejanay Carrington do it intentionally, I would argue it in a court of law. Actually, I would argue it in a court of law, and she did not feel bad about it. She pretended that she didn't know it happened. She tweeted multiple times, my nails are not even long. I mean, she said she didn't feel it happen. She didn't know it happened. So like, you know, if I hit the dashboard of my car right now, full force with my fingertips, I'll tell you what, and I've got some nails there. I'm going to feel that. Even if I have acrylic nails on, I'm still going to feel that my nails hit something. So the fact that she said she didn't know what happened is a lie. Anyway, that happened. Everybody started calling the Fever fans racists because obviously if you're a fan of somebody who is a very incredible basketball player who grew a fan base out of college and all of this hype and then lived up to the hype, and you happen to be somebody that follows this player, you're a racist. You're a racist. And like, not like all of you, all the Indiana Fever fans are racist, according to Angel Reese, according to Alyssa Thomas, according to Brianna Stewart, according to Brittany Griner, according to the WNBA, the Players Association led up by Nneka Ogwumike. She, the president, wrote a letter to Christine Brennan saying that she's unprofessional and should not have the right as a journalist who supports women, who's one of them. And by one of them, I mean these left alphabet mafia, feminist women who think that sports and activism must go together because that's their identity. Their identity is activism. Their identity is not being a professional athlete. And so these women wrote a letter to one of their own people scolding her for asking a question, because when you watch the video, it obviously looks intentional. Anyway, this season has been a mess, and the conversation now has shifted to, should we continue to watch the WNBA? Should we continue to reward them with our viewership and our money? Should Caitlin Clark continue to support the WNBA? Should she continue to put her own brand on the line for a bunch of individuals who literally hate her? They hate her. And I mean, look, I don't think her own teammates hate her. I don't think the people that are around her all the time hate her. And I know that there's certain players out there that don't hate her. But there's a large of WNBA players who literally hate her. And so for Caitlin Clark to continue to have $1 million brand associated with such a toxic league, should she wipe her hands clean of it? Should she say, you know what? One, I don't need this. And two, I can do something on my own and be just as successful and, not have to work in a hostile work environment. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about it? Write a comment in the comments below. Hit subscribe. Go follow me on X at Logo3Army, and have a great day.